everybody. It's Sports Guy Ron. I'm here with your preview of the wild card weekend of the NFL playoffs. Our first game is Saturday at 4:30. You have the 5 seed, the LA Rams, 12-5, heading to Carolina. The 4 seed, they are 8-9. The Rams are 10.5-point favorites. I'm going to take the Rams to win the game. I'm going to take Carolina to cover 10.5 points. It's a lot of points. Carolina won 31-28 week 13. I do remember in that game that I think Carolina was also a 10.5-point underdog at the time. So that's one thing, but I know Stafford turned the ball over quite a bit, so that helped Carolina a lot. So it's kind of, I'm not a little worried about that. Devontae Adams is likely back from his hamstring. Los Angeles second in run blocking win rate, and Carolina 32nd in run stop win rate. So is LA going to be very successful in running the ball against Carolina? I'm not sure. I think that might be important in the game because there is the weather, the rain. There is supposed to be rain. It's supposed to be 70 degrees, so obviously the temperature is not a problem. And 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. So that's something to look for there. Carolina's up and down offense. Sometimes they look explosive. Sometimes they look really bad. They've been having trouble getting in the end zone as of late. So the Rams defense, they're usually tough to get in the end zone on. So we're going to see. But I'm taking LA to win, but Carolina to cover the spread. In the 8 o'clock game on Saturday, we have the Green Bay Packers 9-7-1. This is an NFC North matchup going to Chicago, the 2 seed, 11-6. Now, despite the fact that Chicago won the division, the same division as Green Bay is a 1.5-point favorite at Chicago. I guess this is due to Jordan Love playing. Although he played in the other 2 games, although he did go out in the second game, if you remember, with that concussion from that hit that was flagged. He is playoff tested. He's played well in the playoffs before, defeated Dallas, etc. How will Caleb Williams hold up going into a playoff? Is he ready for that? Is he ready? There's another step up when you're heading to the playoffs for a quarterback. Which team can run the ball? That's going to be a question because, does that matter? Both teams will probably want to run the ball. Everyone should have their running backs available. Jacobs for Green Bay, Swift, Mungai for Chicago. So we'll see about that. Can Chicago's defense create turnovers? That's a big question because their defense hasn't really been stopping anybody. So they got to get those turnovers, to make up for the way they've been giving up touchdowns as of late. Can either defense rush the quarterback? These 2 teams do not sack the quarterback a lot. Chicago did a decent job of it against Green Bay the last time, but these 2 teams have not been rushing the passer very well. So is this going to be a high scoring game? Not sure. It might be a little windy, 15 to 25 mile an hour winds, some light snow, 30 degrees, moderate effects. I think these quarterbacks are probably used to this by now. So I'm not sure how much that's really going to affect them. I'm taking Chicago to win and to cover. I just think, they won the division for a reason. They're a game and a half better than Green Bay in the regular season. And I think they're ready for it. They got a home game. I think they're going to be ready. It's going to Sunday. Really interesting game. The 6 seed Buffalo Bills, 12-5. They are 1-point favorites at Jacksonville. The 3 seed, 13-4. Weather, not so much a factor here. 65 degrees, partly cloudy, wind around 10 miles an hour. That's not much to even can be concerned about. Will Josh Allen lose? Now you got to look at the AFC playoff race. You have no Patrick Mahomes. You have no Joe Burrow again. You have no Lamar Jackson this year. Josh Allen is the proven quarterback of the ones that are remaining in the AFC. Does that give them a big advantage? They've got a tough matchup first week. You got to admit, Jacksonville has been playing fantastic football. That's can the young Jacksonville squad step up, though, in the playoffs? This is a new beast for a lot of these players. So they're going to be, learning on the job, so to speak, in the playoffs, because it is a new, it's something new in the playoffs a lot of times. Which Trevor Lawrence will show up? Which player of performance do we get? He had 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in that wild game against the Chargers, where he did lead his team back. He threw 4 interceptions in the first half. They were down by like 20-some points or something like that. And then he came back all the way back and won. So, that's a great performance, although he did throw 4 interceptions in the first half. Then they played Kansas City. He had a touchdown and an interception, kind of a pedestrian effort against Kansas City, but it was Kansas City. So you can't really fault him for that. I think he's ready for it. I think this is a very good game. I think it's a tight game. There's a lot of reasons to pick Jacksonville. Buffalo's defense has not been playing well. I'm just going to take Josh Allen this game. I'm going to take him to overcome everything against Jacksonville. I'm going to take them to win and to cover the 1 point. 4:30 Sunday, you have San Francisco, 12-5, the 6th seed, at Philadelphia, the 3 seed, 11-6. Philadelphia is a 6-point favorite. That seems way high to me. I don't understand the 6 points. I know San Francisco had a bad last outing against Seattle, but Seattle is the 1 seed. It looks like 40-degree temperatures in Philadelphia, winds 10-15, and a chance of light snow. Nothing major. Something that I know that Jalen Hurts can deal with. Now, Brock Purdy has had trouble in the past with weather, so we'll see how this goes here. Battle of inconsistent quarterbacks, kind of up and down. Purdy looked great against Chicago, lighting them up for 5 touchdowns. He had 2 games with 5 touchdowns. But then they didn't score a single touchdown against Seattle. So it's kind of inconsistent. Same thing with Jalen Hurts. They've been up and down all season, the offense. There's been battles going on in the locker room and everything. Okay, so we'll see what happens there. Who can step up in this game? I would think Philly would have the better chance of that, because San Francisco's defense, although they put up a good effort against Seattle, points-wise, Seattle did move the ball quite a bit against them. Does Philly have the advantage on the defense? Like I said, San Francisco's been, they've had a lot of injuries on the defense. You don't lose Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and other guys and not feel it. So, that's one thing to look at. Will Philly have that advantage? Elite running back battle. You got Saquon Barkley, who's been up and down this year and definitely not like last year. Christian McCaffrey, fantastic season. It's amazing what he's done. So maybe a little bit of an advantage there for San Francisco this season, but Barkley's capable. And then you got offensive line questions. Will Philadelphia get Lane Johnson back? He's questionable still. Or will Trent Williams be back for San Francisco? He's also questionable, but he's more likely. Trent Williams, I saw an interview with him saying he's going for sure. Lane Johnson's a warrior. If there's any chance he's going, he's also going. So maybe they'll both be back. So I'm going to take Philadelphia to win the game. I think at home they're going to find a way. They're a Super Bowl champ for a reason. They'll come and they'll find a way. I think San Francisco covers the 6 points. I think 6 points is too much. So for those reasons, I'm taking San Francisco in the spread. The 8 p.m. game Sunday, the Chargers, 11-6. They're the 7 seed at New England. The 2 seed, 14-3. They are 3.5-point favorites. I find that a little light myself. I'm going to take New England to win and to cover the spread. Looks like 33-degree weather, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, chance of light snow. You know, a little windy, not too horrible, not a bunch of snow, not too cold. Did the rest help Justin Herbert and the running backs? That's a good question. Hampton's going to play. He's going to have tape up his ankle. It was a low ankle sprain, so not as serious as it could have been. Herbert's coming back from that broken left hand. He's been having, they've been, competing, but, he's been limited by that, I would say. Is the young New England core ready for the playoffs? A lot of these guys, Drake May, his first playoff appearance. How's he going to react to that? A lot of their receivers, Travion Henderson, his first playoff, although he was in the college playoffs last year and got a lot of experience. You think that'll help him in this? And their defense the same. Can the New England pass rush win versus the injured Los Angeles offensive line? That's been a problem for the Chargers. I think it'll continue to be a problem, and I think New England wins and covers the spread. In the final game Monday night, we have Houston, 12-5. They are 3-point favorites at Pittsburgh, the 4 seed, 10-7. So we have 34 degrees, partly cloudy, 10-mile-an-hour winds. That's actually a good, fair shot for Houston. At this time of the year in Pittsburgh, it could be a lot worse for the Dome team. So, yes, the weather might be a little bit of a factor for Houston, but not as bad as it could have been for sure. DK Metcalf is back from his suspension. Can Pittsburgh move the ball against Houston's defense? That's going to be a good question. Will Aaron Rodgers survive the pass rush of Houston? That's another good question. The Steelers' offensive line is really going to need to step up if they want to actually defeat Houston in this game. And can the Pittsburgh defense fix their huge errors? Now, in the last game against Baltimore, they did win, but there was a missed field goal at the end. They gave up, I think Lamar Jackson had 174th quarter passing yards. They really struggled against that, and they let Baltimore have big plays in the fourth quarter. Derrick Henry had big runs earlier in the game. So they need to fix that, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Houston's the better team. They're going to win and to cover the spread. Okay, those are my predictions for the wild card weekend. If you like this video, give it a like. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Think about it. And you have a good weekend and enjoy the football.